Guys, you see the name of this video, let's just jump straight into it. So guys, welcome back to the channel. Montel Gordon here. Hope you guys are all doing well, staying safe, washing your hands. If you're new around here, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever I drop an upload. For those of you who don't follow on Instagram, go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram and send me a message. With all that being said, guys, look, I am working on some crazy shit right now. I know I said this in my previous video, but I've actually changed what I'm doing right now, and I kind of want to give you guys an update and, like, again, just document the journey for you guys and show you what's going on and show you the L's I've taken, as well as like what I've been going through up and down on this crazy journey of mine. But essentially, guys, look, the other week I dropped a video saying that I was going to start running Google ads. I was actually going to start trying paid traffic advertising for the agency. I am not at that stage yet. I realized after looking around, and this is my mistake, I guess, I'm just trying to jump the gun and just do crazy shit as fast as possible. I'm trying to move quickly as fast as I can and actually break stuff along the way. That's actually what I've learned entrepreneur really is, like moving fast. Money, I'm sure you've heard the term money loves speed and that sort of stuff. So I was looking into that, maybe again getting a little bit too giddy. The whole case study thing is still a good idea, and I'll still be using that. But guys, right now I've noticed some crazy shit. So as you can see from the title, I'm looking to move, well, slowly transition over like a period of like 3 to 6 months. I'm not in too much rush right now because Upwork has been working a charm for me, being closing like 1 to 2 clients each and every month, like consistently. I just love the platform. It's very easy to use. It makes sense to me, as in like people are on there actually creating a client account on the actual platform to hire somebody. So people have gone out of their way to create an account, to post out a job, to then start looking for people to actually hire for their social media and their Facebook ads. So that's why Upwork really works. And I think even to this day, I still believe even to this day, you should use Upwork at the very beginning of your journey, and then use that money you make from those clients off of Upwork, even though they're gonna be smaller ticket clients. Even though I have clients on there paying me 1.2k and stuff like that a month for social media management, which is a decent like size client. I'm sure I've seen people with Facebook ad clients with less, like making less than that, but that's beyond the point, guys. What I'm trying to say is use the Upwork stuff, get your couple clients in, because I feel like that's the most surefire way of getting a client when you're very like just starting, and then use that money to reinvest into the business. So let me break down a couple of things. As you can see, I'm just doing this off the top of my head, guys, so like I don't really have a plan for this video, but I'm like currently transitioning into the e-commerce space. The reason why is because this whole COVID-19 thing, and to be fair, before this even happened, like the very beginning of my journey, I always wanted to get into the e-commerce space. And when I look back at it, if you look back at my journey, I literally started in the e-commerce space with drop shipping. Like I was actually selling products online, and that is e-commerce, electronic commerce. Commerce just means buying and selling. Before, like, commerce is, you know, e-commerce, that E at the beginning just means electronic commerce. So that buying and selling online, stuff like that, I was always into that. Even me and my brother to this day joke about the beautiful sound. If you guys know about dropshipping, the beautiful sound, the little ka-ching noise the notification makes on your phone, and how like the endorphins, like whatever that fucking thing is that hits in your brain. You know what I'm talking about, you guys that are into like peak performance. But like I know about the brain basically. But that was very like I used to love that notification. And even me and my brother still joke about it today, because he's like kind of getting into dropshipping and entrepreneur stuff, which I'm kind of proud of him for doing. Definitely proud of him for doing. What am I talking about? But guys, look, that's beyond the point. The reason why I want to move into e-commerce is because I've noticed a couple of things, and I'll show you why I didn't actually move into e-commerce at the very beginning. The very beginning, I still had that thought about e-commerce is harder to deliver ads for. So if you look at any like channel out there, anybody that does e-commerce in SMMA, whoever like serves the e-commerce niche, you will find out pretty quick that number one, it's definitely harder to run Facebook ads for them and actually get them good results than it is like the local business, for example. Local business, you can use like local lead gen ads, for example, and just run ads just around the local area, and they'll still outcompete most businesses, because most businesses don't have a clue what they're doing when it comes to Facebook ads, and they're still using that boost post button, which, you know, is beyond me. But anyway, look guys, that was one of the reasons why it deterred me from getting into the e-commerce niche, because I had the mindset of, I don't know how to get a contractor, I don't know how to deliver results for them, which again is all excuses, by the way. You can literally go and find contractors and actually stroke up like and actually come up with an actual solid deal between you and the contractor. Obviously some contractors won't work with you because they're already established, they're already making good money, they already have excellent results, and it's like, why would they want to work? Why would they have all these good results? And then you just started your agency like 2 minutes ago, you're looking to work with them, and you think it's a honor for them to work with you, when really it's the other way around. It's an honor for you to work with the outsource that has the good results. So don't keep that in mind. Yes, it is difficult, but again, like in life, guys, I said this on my one of my last videos. In life, things that are kind of worth doing and pursuing are gonna be like the hard things in life, and because if that wasn't the case, then everybody would just fucking do it, basically. So look, guys, I'm moving into e-commerce niche. The two things that really deterred me was the Facebook ad thing, as in I didn't know how to generate ads, like the actual results for them, even though I was running Facebook ads for myself, for my own dropshipping stores and stuff like that, and that's how I kind of primarily learned it. But I was still uncomfortable taking the e-commerce business owners like money and stuff like that, and I used to think that I have to learn all this Facebook ads. So you know what, I'm just gonna go to local lead gen niche and do that instead. So that's what I did. The second thing that kind of deterred me from the e-commerce niche initially was the whole fact that when it comes to lead sourcing and actually finding e-commerce businesses online, it's even harder than the local lead gen. And I already knew about how hard it was and how time consuming it was to generate leads just for the local lead gen like type of industry and within SMMA, like, you know, generating leads for local businesses. I already knew how hard it was to prospect those businesses and lead source them. And that's why I came up with the lead sourcing alchemy program. It's no longer available to the public, by the way. Well, not in the traditional sense anyway. I might actually show you a better way to do it than what I found, but essentially that program, and I still to this day haven't seen a program that teaches you this sort of shit in this much detail. But that program basically taught you how to go out there and scrape leads. It's kind of like, if you guys are ever familiar with like D7 Lead Finder, where it scrapes leads, it does that but in a much more better way, and it's actually cheaper. It's actually free if you do it the way how I do it. But it was basically like a couple of software working in conjunction with each other that allowed you to scrape leads, like 1,000 leads within like 10-15 minutes or something like that. They were like local business leads basically, where you could reach out to the like local business owner and stuff like that. So it would find their business name, their business website, their social media accounts, all that, and you'd have to just literally click a couple buttons and it would do it all for you. So that was a really good system, and people actually loved that system. So that's what I was doing, and that's kind of what deterred me. Those two things deterred me from going into the e-commerce niche. Again, the Facebook ad thing, you know, delivering results for them is harder than the local lead gen, so that deterred me. And then actually finding the leads, knowing that I'd have to put even more time than what I was doing before I developed the lead sourcing alchemy stuff, was just mind-boggling to me, because I knew that like the lead sourcing stuff, it was like a full-time job in itself basically. But guys, what I've realized now is that I'm thankfully in a position where I can now use like my capital to reinvest into the business. Now look guys, when you first start SMMA, you've got two options. You can either use money to help you start and build certain systems and automate certain things, or you can just do it yourself basically and use what you call sweat equity basically. So guys, what I mean by sweat equity is basically you go out and do the hustling and grinding yourself, as in instead of paying for an outsource to do this, you do it yourself, put in the sweat, the hustle, the grind, and you do it yourself basically. Right now I'm in a beautiful position where I can now take the money that I've made from my clients from Upwork and reinvest it back into building my agency. I kind of guess the traditional way, which is going and doing like cold emails, cold Loom videos, and all that other stuff. The reason why I'm kind of doing this as well, guys, is because like I've noticed that with Upwork the clients are good and stuff like that, but it's like I've noticed that if you become a one-trick pony, and this is really what's happened as well, if you become like a one-traffic pony, and Russell Brunson mentions this in his book, his newest book called Traffic Secrets. If you rely on one traffic source, for example, if I rely just on Upwork and Upwork change their policies, which they've literally just done, and the policy is about to drop on the 26th or 27th of this month of June, you can basically be fucked. Right now Upwork's going through this policy change that's kind of changing the way how we can communicate with clients. We can't share our personal details like our email, we can't use calendars to book in calls with people. Like it's completely fucked. But you can still use the platform, and I still believe that even if that change rolls out, which I actually don't believe they're gonna be able to do that, because it's too difficult to even monitor. It's too difficult for them to continue doing. I think a lot of people are actually gonna be leaving like Upwork, and it's actually gonna fuck themselves. I feel like they've shot themselves in the foot with that. But I'm making a whole video on this and what I think about it and if you should still use it, which by the way, spoiler alert, I still think you should use Upwork, because it's gonna allow you to do what I'm doing now. Instead of going out there, I actually think right now, and I still have only worked with like one e-commerce business. I closed another Facebook ad client the other day, and I mentioned that in a video where I said I lost the client. I still think online business, so like info product businesses and e-commerce businesses, are the best niche, and I've had that solidified now in like my actual business. The reason being is because I have 2 clients right now on hold due to COVID-19. But if you look at the trends of e-commerce, like e-commerce is actually going up, 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 up. I don't like the entire internet would have to go down for e-commerce businesses to flop and for your agency to kind of like be very, very affected if you was like an SMMA in the e-commerce niche basically. Because all online businesses need marketing. Marketing's been around for years. Whenever there's a business, there's going to be SMMA or even just marketing agency, not SMMA, because social media may die. Email marketing might make a comeback. There's always going to need marketing, but we're always going to need marketing basically, guys. But guys, I'm in a sweet position right now and I'm thankful for this because of Upwork and those small ticket clients, what everybody, you know, says, like those doo-doo clients. I can now use that money and like actually invest it into finding an outsourcer so that I don't have to use my own time, my own hustle to actually then go out there and source actual e-commerce business leads. I'm actually working right now. I'm looking at my computer right now, by the way. I might actually spin the camera around, but I'm working right now, guys, on like a, let me actually spin this camera around so I can actually show you real quick. So guys, as you can see here, I'm actually working right now. Let me just quickly zoom in for you guys. So guys, as you can see, I'm working right now on this like this presentation where it's like kind of like a training as to how to go out there and find e-commerce businesses. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like record this and actually send it to an outsourcer so that I only have to record this once. And then whenever I'm going to look for an outsourcer, which by the way, I've posted a couple jobs on Upwork already, they can just literally watch this, get an idea for what they need to do, what they don't do, how to prospect businesses, and what exactly I am looking for. So guys, hope the camera's not too wonky there, but look, I've actually put together this presentation as to, and I studied a lot for this, by the way, guys. I went through a bunch of courses again and retook all the notes on like everybody on YouTube, like literally hundreds of videos. I went through and found the best ways to actually qualify e-commerce businesses, where to even find these businesses, what tools and software you need to use in order to find like the amount of traffic they're getting per month. Because if you can figure out what sort of traffic they're getting per month, and what you can do from that number is work out what their average order value is by looking at the products they actually have on their site. Then what you can do is do some maths and stuff like that. It's a very easy equation, by the way. I think the equation is, off the top of my head, is you literally take the traffic, you times it by their conversion rate. So if they get like 2% on average, an e-commerce business, they're like 2%. So if somebody's generating like 20k traffic, like 20,000 unique visitors a month, you times that by 2%, whatever that number is. I'm not gonna do the maths right here. You times that again by their average order value, then you work out the profit margins, and you can actually then see how much profit, how much revenue they're making per month, how much profit they're making per month, and then you can qualify them that way. And again, there's tools to do this for you. And I'm actually building out, for example, like my outsourcer that I'm gonna be giving the lead sourcing job to, he's gonna have this like checklist, and I've got like let me just fix this ISO real quick. Okay, that's much better. Hopefully that wasn't too blown out. But basically, guys, what I was saying is I have this checklist, I have this whole presentation that he needs to follow, the videos for him to follow, so he knows exactly what to look for, what not to look for, all the pre-qualifying aspects basically. Within this, there's also going to be a 9-point qualifying checklist that I've actually come up with, devised like using actual formulas. And within that, there's actually going to be like an Excel sheet, so he can literally take a look at a business, plug in the numbers he's already found. So this is my idea right now. I'm actually going to build this sheet. He can basically take a look at a website, he can plug in the average price of their products. So you can literally just take an average, plug it into this like Google sheet. You can then take the average, what they're actually, how much traffic they're getting per month, and then the sheet will automatically spit back out a number for him saying that this is how much they will probably be making, a rough estimate of course, but it will show them exactly, it will show my outsourcer basically how much they're actually making and if they're qualified, basically how much they're making per month, and it will show me if they're qualified and whatnot, and then you can put that in a list format. And then we're collecting business owners information such as, and I'm going to show him exactly where to find this information. It's like some real nitty gritty stuff, like going to people's like blog articles, going like to the first ever article they ever wrote, for example, and finding the little name, because normally when you first start like your e-commerce business, is you that's doing the all work, like all the work yourself basically. Then I'm showing him stuff like how to go to Instagram and look for similar pages, how to then in that Instagram stuff, like how to go and find the actual business owner's name, their email, all that sort of stuff basically. So I'm going to show him all the tips, tricks I've come across in the last few days, and I've literally took a bunch of notes from a lot of people. But guys, that is all that I've been working on right now. So the idea here is to just get a bunch of e-commerce list like leads in a nice list format, all qualified for me, like all pre-qualified. So my idea is to, and by the way, I've never actually reached out to an e-commerce business, like not even once, like I'm not even joking. Normally I've just stuck to local businesses, even like I've even reached out to hairdressers, car dealerships, real estate agents, obviously, gym businesses, restaurants when I first got started. I've never actually reached out to like an actual e-commerce business. It's really weird, but I've got some few ideas for that as well. So what I'm going to do is put a list list. I'm gonna get my outsourcer to create a list of like qualified e-commerce businesses. When I say qualified, I'm talking how much traffic are they getting per month. Based on that, how much revenue do you reckon they're gonna be? And like these are columns that he has to fill out in the Google Sheet. What's the business owner's name? How many followers do they have on Facebook? How many ads are they running? So I can look at all this business off of one sheet and have them really like nice and organized. From then on, what I'm gonna do is just go down the list each day and just do like 10 Loom videos and send those over like Instagram or even email. I'm gonna be testing out the different platforms to reach out, but I've heard that email is really good to get e-commerce businesses because you can actually position your email to sound like you're one of their customers, and that actually gives you a good open rate. And then I'm gonna test a lot of actually finding the business owner's actual personal Instagram and stuff like that to actually message him on Instagram, and even just messaging the company on Instagram and the sort of pictures. So I've got all that kind of set. All I need to do now is just finish up this template here. Bunch of people asked me for this template. I don't know if I'm going to be releasing this, to be honest with you guys. It's got like some really in-depth shit that I think I should save for my actual students and whatnot. But again, with that being said, I will still be using Upwork. Don't get me wrong. Upwork's the lifeline right now. Basically, that's what I want you guys to see. Upwork's the lifeline that's bringing me in clients consistently. Now it's just for me to go out there and kind of build my agency and get some real e-commerce, like very like heavy hitters. I'm talking like clients for a minimum of like 2.5k pounds per month basically, and then paying an outsourcer. Obviously finding an outsourcer, an actual Facebook ads outsourcer, but that's for a different video. I'm putting together a case study as well and stuff like that using like outsourcer's results. Obviously I'm going to get him on my team and whatnot, but now I'm in the position to do that again. And I want you to realize that the reason why I'm in this position is because of Upwork. You see the difference, guys. A lot of gurus will tell you to go out there and just go and try get like e-commerce clients straight away and close them for like 2k, 2.5k, 3k a month just straight away. But what they don't tell you is that they tried doing that for a whole like 2 years. You know, like when a guru says that I built my agency from like 0 to 10k in 3 months, what they don't tell you is that that was just a window of when they just hit client after client after client after spending 2 years. This is what they don't show you. They don't tell you about the 2 years they spent failing, learning and like testing stuff and just failing and getting better and better. And then there was a point where they hit client number 1, then client number 2 came, client number 3, client number 4, and client number 5, and that's how they got to the like 10k per month. And they kind of just put it in this nice little package saying that they went from 0 to 10k in like 3 months, when realistically they were failing for 2 years. Then there was a window of like there was like it's what you call hitting your point of latent potential, where you continue to grind and stack small wins, and then you hit a point where you get client number 1, client number 2 comes quick, client number 3, and then client number 4 basically. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I've got my money, like building up my money, because I know that some of you guys, when you start SMMA, you need to make money quickly. I think that Upwork is a place where you go to make money quickly. Then you can take that money from actual SMMA clients, because that's actually your money, and then reinvest it back into all this other stuff, like actually getting a lead sourcer to actually find these leads, because that's very time consuming. I know what to do when it comes to lead sourcing, and now I can just teach that and pass that off. So I'm just showing them like every tool I use, all the like Google Chrome extensions, all the best websites to go to. And by the way, I found some really sweet, like no, I don't think I've ever seen. I watched a bunch of videos. Everybody says that there's no real directory for like e-commerce businesses, and they use like myip.ms is a good place to look. But there's some other websites that I'm actually going to be using right now and testing out that are even better than myip.ms. The layout's better, the way how you can like kind of scrape the leads off there is even better. But guys, that's what I'm working on right now. Super excited. So I'm transitioning, still using Upwork. This is the thing, I am still using Upwork. Upwork is the lifeline, it's the blood right now that's going to fuel this other stuff. This other stuff is going to be me trying to niche down and get into like just become a Facebook ads driven, ROI driven, like a results driven agency that only focus on e-commerce, only focus on Facebook ads. And that's what I'm going to be doing from now on. But I'm still got the Upwork stuff going as my like lifeline to actually build up and then use that capital to reinvest into my business and just niche down basically. Guys, that's all for today's video. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. I hope that I've sparked some ideas for you, and I hope that you can see that like if you're going to start building from Upwork, that doesn't mean you have to stay on Upwork. It just means you can use that as like another lead, like another traffic source essentially. To me, Upwork's never been like the be all and end all. It's just another traffic source, like a means to an end for me basically. But guys, look, hope you've enjoyed that. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll be breaking down some crazy stuff again on my channel. Probably going to break down exactly what the gurus are not telling you, and what I've kind of sussed out having been in this industry now for quite a while. But guys, look, hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.